More on our breaking news. Hackers have made good on their threat to expose the data of Medibank customers, releasing a sample of the information believed to be obtained in the cyber attack. A post on social media, which appears to be from the hackers, claims they're sorting through a wealth of personal information and will leak a portion at a time. Now, the list appears to contain Medicare and client numbers. It comes after the insurer refused to give into a ransom demand, saying doing so would only encourage further extortion. Joining me now is the principal solicitor of Centennial Lawyers, George Newhouse. The hackers have leaked people's information. How fed up should people be with all of this?
I think they should be very concerned. You've had Optus recently, the NDIS, Service New South Wales. You know, the statistics indicate that 1 in 3 Australians have had their data hacked. I think people should be very concerned.
Should Medibank have paid the ransom?
Oh, look, I'm not suggesting that they should have paid the ransom, but what they should have done is made sure that they had adequate security so that people's personal data, sensitive medical records, were not accessed by hackers.
Okay, so you're thinking of launching a class action on behalf of Medibank customers. Why?
Why? Because people deserve the right to accountability. They deserve to know what's happened to their data, and companies need to be held accountable for their actions. We hand over very personal information to companies and governments, and they need to take that carefully. If there's no bite when data is released, then this will continue.
So the bite is money, is it?
Well, that's one mechanism. Now, the government's talking about fines, massive fines, but how does that help the individual? They need to change their passports, bank accounts, all sorts of things, and they don't get compensated.
Okay, so Optus, when this happened to them, did pay for people to change their licence, pay for their passports. Should Medibank be doing something similar?
Absolutely. That's the minimum they can do. People are sitting at home worried about what might be happening to their data, and this isn't just their passport number. They're talking about their medical records. You know, if you've got a drug addiction or an alcohol problem, imagine having that information made public.
Right. So how can companies really protect themselves? Because these cyber criminals are so sophisticated, aren't they, that it seems as though nothing is safe in terms of data anymore. Should it be more about that we should not be compelled to give as much information to these organisations?
I think that's a really important point. We should not be compelled, but we should also have a right to be forgotten. In Europe,
right,
you've got a right to actually have your data removed from databases. But we don't have that right in Australia. Our privacy laws are incredibly weak. We don't have a proper right to know. A lot of companies have been breached and they aren't telling us. There's no punishment for that, or there's no one actively looking and punishing. We don't have a right to sue. There's no breach of privacy laws in Australia, and we don't have a right to be forgotten. And I think those are 3 changes that need to happen.
That's really interesting. So there is a blueprint for us to follow, which is way better, that's being used overseas in Europe at the moment.
The Europeans are by far doing a better job than Australia. We kind of run a protection racket for sloppy security policies. And, you know, companies make a lot of money off our data. They should be investing in security.
Okay, that's a really good argument. George Newhouse, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.